Hey, this is Mad Movie Mark with the Mad Movie Mark Movie Review. Thank you for joining me as I review the 1934 Chinese silent melodrama Shen Nu, or as it is pronounced in English, The Goddess. Hey, whoa, hold on, there's no need to be upset. This might be a good review. I would stick around and give me a chance. If this is your first time joining me, I'm reviewing every movie in this book, the 1001 movies you must see before you die. And friends, I think I just watched one of the greatest silent films ever made, and I had never even heard of it until I opened this book. It is tragic. It is heartbreaking. I will say it's soul-crushing, even though I'm a ginger and I don't have first-hand knowledge of that, but I will also say that it is soul-crushing. It is a movie that reaches into your chest, pulls out your heart, throws it on the floor, and steps on it, and those are the kind of movies that I love. Now, hopefully I will not mispronounce the lead actress's name, but I probably will. I have Ruan Lingyu here, and this is her definitive performance. Now, she passed away like a year after this film was made in 1935. Very tragic. She was considered to be one of China's greatest stars of cinema. She was like an up-and-coming star. She was very young, and it was just incredibly sad and tragic. The child actor in this movie, who is King Lee, also passed away very young, like in his 30s, from suicide. Very sad. And then we have the third actor, the third main star of this film, that is Zizi Zhang, who played the boss. He is ruthless, he is heartless, he has no arc, he's just terrible throughout the entire film, and you just wish something really bad would happen to him, and you're very happy at the end with what becomes of him, but not with what becomes of the woman. I'm going to just call her woman from now on because she has no name in this film, and I think that that is by design. She is a prostitute. In this film, in early China, she is considered to be lower than everyone else. She is a bottom feeder of society. Everyone looks down on her. Everyone pities her. Everyone feels sorry for her. And they not only feel sorry for her and pity her, but they actively try to ruin her life because she is a prostitute. And I think that that is one reason why she has no name, is because in society she's just considered to be a nobody. Now, this film is considered to be the peak of Shanghai silent film. It is often cited as the greatest Chinese silent film of all time, but it's also considered to just be one of the greatest Chinese films of all time, period. So not just silent, but greatest of all time for any type of film. The woman experiences extraordinary restraint and emotional depth in this movie. She is just an amazing actress. One of the greatest silent film performances I've ever seen. I don't know if I enjoyed it as much as the lead actress from Metropolis. I thought she was probably on par, or maybe not as great, but she is absolutely amazing in this movie. Now, this is a powerful example of left-leaning social realism. It depicts urban poverty, exploitation of women, and the hypocrisy of the respectable society. It critiques how society punishes the marginalized while benefiting from their suffering, and this was a bold stance that it took at the time. It treats the protagonist with deep empathy, and this film uses expressive framing, lighting, and close-ups to convey emotions. Absolutely phenomenal cinematography. Like I said, some of the best acting I've ever seen in a silent film. The movie has fantastic writing. Everything about it is amazing. So let's get to a synopsis of what the movie is. We have the main girl, who I'm just calling woman. She is a prostitute in this film, and she has a very young child whom she's trying to just do the best she can for this child. She realizes that she's considered to be a stain on society, that she's considered to be a nobody, that people look down on her, people hate her, people pity her, people feel sorry for her, people just treat her as if she's lower than everyone else. She understands that, she's willing to accept that, but she's still trying to do the best she can for her child and to make sure that her child has better than she has, and that her child will grow up to be much more than what she is. So she's working in the streets trying to get the money she can to send her child to a private school, essentially, is what she's trying to do. Now, one day, while she's working the streets, she ducks inside this building to get away from the cops, and she runs into the boss. Now, this was a chance meeting that would absolutely destroy her life completely. The boss is this guy who gambles all the time. He seems like he's some sort of like mob boss or gang boss or someone who has some sort of negative clout in this city because he has henchmen around him as well. And he agrees to hide her in exchange for sex. So he basically rapes her, essentially, so that he will hide her from the cops. Later on, he finds out where she lives, and he decides to go to her house, and he discovers then that she has a child, and he's going to use this child as leverage later on in the movie. But he basically says, like, this is my house now. I live here with you. There's nothing that you can really do about it. Try to kick me out. There's nothing you can do about it, essentially. So he lives with her. And she obviously hates this situation. She doesn't want this random guy living with her. He is a terrible gambler. He takes all of her money. He spends it. He loses it. She is unable to save anything. She's unable to do what she wants, which is send her kid to school because he's spending all of her money. So she decides to run away to get away from the situation, to find a new place to live. She finds a new place to live, but he ends up finding her there also. And when he finds her there, he decides he's going to use the child as leverage, and he tells her that he sold the kid, and if she ever wants to see the kid again, she's going to live in this place with him, and she's going to do exactly what he says. So obviously she agrees to do this because this is her child. While she's living with him, though, she's able to hide some money, stash it away where he will never find it. And later on in the movie, her son's going to private school, exactly what she wanted, and everything seems to be going pretty well until a couple of the women in the neighborhood find out that she's a prostitute and that her kid is going to school with their children, and these women decide that they don't like that. They don't like the fact that this lower person in society, this scum of the earth, has her children going to school with their children. So they complain to the principal and say, look, we don't want our kids going here and being affiliated with someone who's a prostitute. And we want you to kick the child out of the school or else we're leaving. So the principal decides he's going to do some investigation. He's going to look into the situation. He kind of weirdly peers into the classrooms, the windows of the classrooms, to see the child and see how the child is learning. And then he goes to the child's house and he goes up to the mother and he says, look, I have some complaints that you're a prostitute, and the other parents don't want their children going to school with a child whose parent is a prostitute. Basically, what do you have to say for yourself? And she gives this amazing speech about how, yes, I'm a prostitute. Yes, I understand how people feel about me. But just because I'm a prostitute, does that mean I'm not allowed to want the best for my child? Does that mean I'm not allowed to spend the money that I have to make my child's life better than mine? I am trying to do the best I can for this child. I have a child. Now I have to be able to do the best I can and take care of him and give him the best I can. I can't reverse course. I can't go back and not have children. Like, this is the life I am. I love my child. I want the best for him, type of thing. I'm just paraphrasing. That's not exactly what she says, but that's kind of how the speech goes. It's like, this is where I'm at in life. This is where I am. I understand people don't like it. I understand they don't agree with it, but this is where I'm at, and I'm just trying to do the best I can for my child. Now, the principal has complete empathy for this woman. He says, look, I was wrong. You obviously love your child. There's nothing bad going on here. He's in no danger. He's in no harm. He has a great mother who loves him very much. You can continue going to the school. So the principal goes back to the board of the school, the board of directors or whatever, and he tells them, look, I went there, everything seemed fine. I don't think we should punish the child. Our job as educators is to give this child the best education we can, as long as the parent's paying for the school. This is our obligation. Our obligation is for the child, not for the parent. We have to make sure we're doing the best we can to teach these children and to make them the best they can to be put into society. Now, the board of directors says, look, we understand your position here, but we're not going to let the kids stay here because we have complaints. The mother's a prostitute. She's a lower part of society. And the principal says, fine, if that's your position, I'm leaving. Like, I resign. I'm not going to be here anymore. And then the board sends a letter to the mother and says, look, we're not going to, your child's expelled. Basically, we're not going to allow him to be here anymore. Now, the woman decides she's going to take her money and leave. She's going to move somewhere else. She needs to get away from where people know that she's a prostitute. She needs to get away from where people know who she is, start over new in a city where she can put her kid into a good school and go from there. So when she gets home, she goes to get her money, and she realizes that the boss has stolen the money. He found out where it was, and he stole it. So she goes and confronts him, and he says, look, there's nothing I can do. I already spent it. Like, I don't know why you're upset at me. I took the money. It's gone. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. And then she makes a decision that will basically decide her future and her child's future going forward. She kills the boss. I thought this was absolutely fantastic. I was like, yes, finally, he's getting where he deserves. He was terrible throughout the entire movie, which is, I mean, he's a villain. He's what you expect a villain to be. There's no give here. There's no mercy. He's just terrible, bad, mean person throughout the entire film. So she kills him, and then she's put on trial, and she's found guilty of murder. And I think she's given like 12 years or 14 years or something in prison. And we see her in prison, and she's beside herself, and she's like, where's my child? I need my child. I need to get out of here. I have a child to raise. I need to make sure that he gets everything he needs. Now, the principal sees this in the paper that the mother was convicted of killing this guy. And he goes down to the prison, and he says, look, I'm going to go to your kid was put in an orphanage. I'm going to go to the orphanage. I'm going to adopt your child. I'm going to make sure he has the best upbringing, and that I'm going to basically take over where you left off. I'm going to put him in school. I'm going to make sure he has a better life than what you had. And then the end of the movie is the saddest part of the entire film. I was really, I would say, not satisfied with how it ended, but I understand how it ended. So she basically says, like, I don't want him to ever know he had a mom. Tell him that his mom died. Tell him that I'm not in the picture anymore. I don't want him to know his mom was a prostitute, that his mom was the stain on society, that I have this terrible job that everyone looks down on. I don't want him to know that this is the mother that he had. And it's really sad, because that's for her profession, and that's like her profession became her whole identity. It became everything that she was, when in fact she's just this really great, caring mother who wants everything that she can have for her child. So at the end of the movie, instead of seeing herself as someone who wanted everything and tried everything she could to get her child a better life, to get her child everything that he needed, she sees herself as what society sees her as. And it's just incredibly sad and painful. Like, I wish there was someone there. I wish the principal or someone there could have said, look, like, I understand what you're saying, but he needs to know that his mom tried really hard, and that his mom loved him very much, and that his mom was the person who was constantly had his back, and who was constantly there for him, and was rooting for him, and sacrificed herself for him, and sacrificed her life and everything she had to make sure that he had the best upbringing he could. Like, he should know all of this, but it didn't happen. There wasn't anyone in her life who could give her that, who could tell her that, who could reassure her that she is a great person, she is a great mom, and she did everything that she could. And oh man, just such a sad ending. This movie wrecked me. The this movie is just so powerful, so emotional, so moving, beautiful. Like I said, the music in this movie, I don't know if it's the original music or not, but I watched it on YouTube, so I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if this film is still under copyright protection or not, but sometimes if it's not, people just add their own music to it. But it was so emotionally driven. It was the perfect soundtrack to really push forward this film and to to push along this story. Everything about it was just so beautiful and so phenomenal. One of the most touching, moving, emotionally packed films I've ever seen in my entire life. This is the kind of movie where you watch and it can change your whole perspective on life and change who you are and change you as a person. And there's not a lot of films out there that make me feel the way this film made me feel, and it's really hard to put into words the impact that this movie had on me. It's a perfect 10 out of 10. It's going to be one of the top movies of the 1930s for me. I can already tell. I'm probably not even halfway through the 1930s yet, and I can already tell that this one's going to have an impact on me that a lot of other films did not have. Just so incredible. 10 out of 10. I think you should watch it if you haven't seen it. Even if you don't like silent films, you might really enjoy this movie because just how powerful it is. Anyway, that's my review of Shen Nu. I hope you join me next time when I review a little known movie called It Happened One Night. Thank you. Have a great day.